Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, so we did have FOMC today. Everything remained unchanged. I honestly thought, Powell didn't, do too bad of a job there. Didn't exactly get good questions. Held his own. Pressure is on. Market ended up pumping in the end. I'm going to be completely honest. I think everything is set up to continue pushing from here on. I thought it was a bit strange that we didn't test these 200 daily moving averages. QQQ got within 15 cents over here of testing its 200 daily moving average, but we did not test it. Thought it was a bit odd. We do know on the daily time frame we were sitting above the 21 EMA. This is kind of, just controlled consolidation here. We now found buyers in the same spot 2 days in a row. I have to assume we're probably about to break up. All right, so we're just going to go over things over here on SPY QQ, and then I'm going to show some charts here that they're ready to move up. I'm gonna go over the leaders that I think are about to be leading the move higher up into this 200 DMA. But we got most of the Mag 7 stocks not looking too bad, like they're about to pop. We have semiconductors really just holding on very strong today. And here in SPY and QQ, they don't look all that bad. It looks like buyers did end up stepping in. And, this is exactly where buyers stepped in over here. They just stepped in the following days in the same exact spot. We still have this 4-hour cloud. It's still green. It's still bullish over here, holding that 4-hour 21 EMA. But, honestly, things, they don't look all that bad. And I think we got the potential bearish catalyst out of the way. I think we can bounce. All right. So tomorrow, what are you going to be paying attention to, guys? Above today's high of 563.82, we have 568.38. If you take out 568.38, we're going to have nothing until the 200 daily moving average up at 573.6. Well, it's 573.16 right now, but around 573. Right above, you're going to have 575.35 resistance. We are expecting sellers in between 585 and 575. So just keep that in mind on this next push. All right. So we were, the other day I made a thumbnail saying expect the dip to be bought. I think it's pretty obvious the dip is being bought right now. But I'm going to show you some charts. But before we go over those, I'm just, going to point out, NVIDIA, does this look like something that's about to, fall back down? No, it looks like something that just, was getting real tight over here and you ended up squeezing up, right over here. It looks like it just started this move. I think we can get a move to 122.89 up to 125 where we have the 200 daily moving average. All right, like that is something that coming into this week, we're expecting this dip, if we got it, to be bought. All right, we didn't know if we were going to pop and then sell off of FOMC or if we were going to drop and then pop off of FOMC. We didn't know which one it was going to be, but we were prepared for either. And as we could see, a lot of these guys are setting up for continuation. All right, so, this is Meta. We just had NVIDIA. It looks like it's probably going to continue. All right, and then you look at something like Tesla. All right, Tesla has been holding on for dear life over here to 274.69. Your support over here, right over here. It looks like this thing is trying to reverse off of here, and I know it doesn't have the momentum yet, but any day, it can happen anytime, and it's not going to be bullish until it actually happens. But, the setup is here for it, and it can snap back at any time. You're right above the 21 EMA. You've been consolidating in the same spot for, the past week and a half here. At some point, all right, we're going to break above 294.86, and this thing is probably going to make a very quick move up to 326.59. We've had it on the radar ever since you had this original move. We caught this original move, and we're just waiting for that next little push there. And I think it is right around the corner, honestly. And, this is one that's showing weakness. If we can start seeing this start getting above, I think it is starting to, I think this is going to move, and I think it can be a positive sign for the overall market. All right, you got something like that. GOOG did fall flat in its face today. Do not be long in GOOG. We come over here to Microsoft. It looks like this can easily just break up from this consolidation, become a breakaway gap, break over 439.50, and this is probably going to start running towards 450 at 448.38 resistance. Okay, come over to Amazon. Does this look like something that's going to be continue higher to you? Or does it look like something that is going to, break down after having this move back up here underneath 184.40 and break all the way back down? I would place a bet on the break above 192.65 from here. And above there, you clear as day have a target here, 200 daily moving average, 198.34. What I'm saying, guys, it makes much more sense that we're going to just go up a little bit higher and then test those 200 daily moving averages, and then we'll see if we get a rug pull from there. Okay. But you know, you got NVIDIA looking good, you have Meta looking good, you have Amazon looking good, Microsoft can easily continue higher. Apple, if it really wants to do so, it can pivot off of exactly where it is right now. This is the trend line retest. You're in the golden pocket here. If we are to take the whole move there, all right, you are going to be right here at the well, not quite there, but the 50% retracement is right underneath here. But you know, price is trying to hold on to this 198.23 spot right here. If we can reclaim it, that is when, you know, Apple start looking for further upside up to 203.51. Expect rejection here, but if it can get above, all right, we're talking 208.42 and then maybe 212.94. You have the 200 daily moving average all the way over there. If Apple can start, you know, picking up here, that is going to be fuel for the market to head higher. But, you know, I'd say with what I showed you already, this is enough fuel for the NASDAQ to continue pushing a little bit more, okay? You got things like chips just, you know, holding up, just crazy strength over here. This doesn't look bad at all, but then you come over to something like AVGO and NVIDIA today. These things are looking like they want to continue above 205.68. Over here in AVGO, we're talking 211.11. It can come quick. You come over here to SMH, okay? So this is the whole semiconductor. This is the ETF that's going to track them, okay? If you break above 221.41 over here, guess what? The 200 daily moving average sitting right there. You on top of that, you have where you broke down from sitting right above here. So we're going to take off that level. You have right over here. Okay. It's going to be a big spot right over here. But if we're getting up there, the market's about to go on a tear, guys. On today's candle, we had increasing volume. I'm going to take the bet that we're probably going to continue higher from here. Okay. All right, let's finish going over the indices. Let's just have a quick recap over here on SPY. On the downside, guys, if you give up 556.52, you're watching 553.68, 549.68, and 541.52. On the upside, break above today's high at 563.82. You're watching 568.38. Get above there, you have the 200 daily moving average, 573.16, and then 575.35. All right, just expect sellers. 573, 575. Expect your sellers there. All right, coming over here to QQ. On the downside, we have 479.56. Underneath there, we have 477.20. If 477.20 is lost, we're probably getting a larger sell-off. We're probably revisiting this whole area down here, maybe testing the 21 EMA at 472.91. That support right there, bouncing off of that. And if not, you know, we risk a larger pullback over here. And we really don't want to test this area. We want to hold this 21 EMA right here for, you know, just continued momentum over here. And I do think it's much more likely that we get a pop through this 200 daily moving average. We get somewhere over here. And at that point, we are going to be watching over here on the golden pocket. Okay. If you do not know how to put on all of these levels and follow along with price action yourself, just feel free to copy what we have here for absolutely no cost to you here on YouTube for free every day. If you want a more personalized approach, if you want more detail, the link will be down below to join the Discord. I will be trading live every day over there on the voice chat and sharing my screen, and I will walk you guys through everything we get every single day. Okay. All right. But you know, over here on QQ, SPY, guys, everything I just showed you, it leads to more upside. There's not really any arguing with it. It can fall flat in its face, but I'm not going to say that's where the odds are right now. And as traders, we just stack the odds in our favor and we go along with things. Right now, I think we are about to see the market move higher. Okay. On the upside on QQ, we have 485.80. We have 489.03 and 490.91. If you break above 485.80, we're probably just going to have a straight shot up here to 489. Yeah, 489. Okay. And from right here, that would just be a 1% move tomorrow, guys. You know, most of these recent candles have been around 1.5% or 1 to 1.5%. So at a minimum move, if we're going to move up, that would be a move up into this area right here, 489. And then on the upper end of the range, it's been 1.5% around there. That was, you know, today's move was around 2%, 1.9, and then over here 1.4. So we're going to go with 1.5%. You can see over here, it was, you know, in between there, 1.3. So honestly, if we are going to continue up, which I think is likely, I think we are going to at least get into this 489 to 490.91. So 489 to 491, this zone. If we start breaking above 491, that is where we have the 200 daily moving average. And at that point, we can start pushing up to 493.62 and potentially get up here to 500, that psychological level, which happens to be right at 499.70 resistance. That's where we broke down from. So perfect. Okay, picture perfect. That is what we're looking for. Get up into this area tomorrow. If you have a gap up there, we're going to have to see how this go. Maybe we do have a larger day load in here. Okay, since we've been in this, pullback consolidation, maybe we do have a larger day. But if we do gap up, it's not off the table to then pull back and then bounce back by the end of the day to print a bullish candlestick to continue higher the following trading session. Not out of the question. Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, these charts are, the 4-hour charts are bullish. The 1-hour charts are bullish. Everything does suggest, like, this looks like bullish consolidation to me. Let's just keep it on the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour charts are bullish. The daily charts are bullish. The weekly charts will come over here. All right. Honestly, it's just something I don't think is going to sell right away. I know you're right underneath the 200, but a lot of these stocks can easily head higher to the 200. And if you come and look over here on SMH, does this look like something that is going to be, selling right away? No, we're not often are we going to have these equivalent highs. We're going to have a pop higher. So we're expecting higher prices tomorrow. We'll take it as we go. But I do think we have a lot of juicy setups. So, as far as strength goes, I'll go over what we're watching. And let's actually throw in VIX right here as well. Does this look like something that's immediately going to be bouncing back? Or does it look like something that, more likely is going to take out this 2234 low? If it takes out 2234 low, you're probably going to come down here. The next level of interest, the next area of interest is going to be the 200 daily moving average, which is around, 1970 right now. You got touch point, you got, just price consolidating around it over here. Touch point, touch point, touch point. All right, touch point. You could say, all right, so if we break underneath 2234, we're probably going to be coming down here. And at that point, the market is going to head higher. So I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but I know a lot of people are looking for downside in the specific area we are right now, including myself. But I have held this opinion that we're probably going to get this pop higher to the 200 daily moving average. And then I think it's a good time to start taking off your risk. Start, like, if you want to take a potential short entry, that is where I would start swinging short from. I know there are a lot of bigger Twitter accounts, and, right here, we're probably going to be selling over here. I think we get it from a pop. All right. I'm not one of these bigger Twitter accounts. I'm not even one of these larger YouTube accounts, but I care. All right. I care for the people. And, I think you're going to have a much better time just waiting until you get up here to see that play out. All right. And from here, we would be playing for a move all the way back down here. That's a $20 to $25 move that you can take advantage of if you just stay patient and we do get the pop. Maybe we don't get it. Maybe things fall off a cliff. But if we're going to fall off a cliff, we're going to take out today's low at 556.52 intraday tomorrow. And yeah, that's how that would go. Other than that, we're going to do what, probability is suggesting, and we're just going to head up here, back up to 568.38, take that out, test the 200 daily moving average, okay? Aside from the setups I showed you, these are the ones I'm going to go over just real quick. These are the ones I'm really paying attention to. These are some that you can pay attention to. Here's some trade ideas for you. If you want unlimited trade ideas, you want to just come trade with me, the link is down below. I think you're going to have a really good time, and I stand behind that, every day, every week. Over here, guys, this is just the bull flag consolidation, pulled back to the 21 EMA. This is where you also broke out from. So we do have a successful break and retest. And now we are pushing back up to the high of the range. We are likely going to break the high of the range. I've been pounding the table on this one. This is PLTR 2.0 over here. This is the exact same setup as we have right here. We're currently in this week, but I think we're right here. And I think if the markets do cooperate into the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, we can get something good going. Okay. So this is PLTR. We're right here, and we didn't break out yet. But just wait, because once you do, you're going to have a really good time. If you can break above 51.30, you probably get a straight move up to 52.65 that same day. Above there, guys, we're watching and targeting 54.84. That is going to be a key spot right here. And at that point, contracts are going to pump, if you are playing shares. I think this thing is probably going to be moving back up the highs. I'm not saying it happens immediately, but I think we're going to start building up momentum if we can break above 51.30. All right, so that is that. All right, other than that, guys, I'm going to just point out CAVA is actually at that spot again, 93.73. You did get that little pop today, but it is back over here. So I think we're probably going to pop into end of week. So, you know, if we stay around here, you could start risking around here, shoot for today's high at 95.75 and then 97.98 if that is taken out. All right. Other than that, guys, I think HIMS is probably going to continue pushing. I think this is probably going to all-time highs, honestly. So, you know, just something to keep on your radar. Something that I saw on Twitter that I am rather fond of is this Bros chart over here. All right. This is a really clean look, in my personal opinion, whether you want to, you know, draw that, whether you want to draw it like that. Doesn't really matter. This thing, I think, is getting ready for a move. You just had earnings. They did not really move at all off of earnings. And I think, you know, we saw how HIMS was, where he didn't move at all. Came down, actually, gap down, and got, you know, straight bought up right off the bell over there. And then you also have something like Uber over here. You pulled back today. So Uber is another one that I think is going to continue pushing. But, you know, you just retested 81.86. You found buyers today, guys. This is likely going to break above 87 in the short term, in my personal opinion. Okay, Uber is still looking absolutely beautiful. Now that it hasn't moved all that much, it's actually down on the day. Earnings, you know, the premiums that were being juiced by earnings, guess what? They have died. All right, so this is something you could take advantage of. Other than that, we're you know, coming over to Rocket Lab. They also have earnings after the bell tomorrow, and I think if they don't move, I think we can also get one of those moves post earnings where options are going to, you know, the premiums are going to die, and then you could take advantage of some much cheaper option. You could play this chart, this beautiful freaking chart here, for what it actually is. Okay. Other than that, we have coin. I think we potentially could be. We could have put in a little bottom over here, but it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin continues dragging itself up, and if it breaks above 97,938 right here, this previous little high, I think coin is probably going to reverse off of what it is right here. I think it's probably going to have a decent earnings as long as Bitcoin holds where it is right here. You know, this looks like a juicy setup, and earnings is always a gamble, but, you know, typically technicals, they do set up somewhat into earnings relatively often. This is a bullish setup into earnings. That's that. All right, MSTR, it's still showing the strength, and it looks like it's probably going to take out 404.42 over the coming trading sessions, probably 1 to 2. Daily RSI, we know it can run, and it can keep running every time it pulls back. Pullbacks become buying opportunities once it starts going. Weekly chart's looking really clean. My guess is going to keep going. Pullbacks are going to be acting as buying opportunities. All right, guys, and that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please remember to leave a like. Just, you know, scratch my back so we can get the YouTube algorithm going. I will scratch your back every day for absolutely no cost to you. Well, 5 days a week. If you enjoy that and appreciate that, please just remember to scratch my back, and we can both be scratching each other's backs. We can get the YouTube algorithm going in this, and yeah, we could bring some life to the channel and get some new people here. Okay, but the YouTube algorithm has not hit this channel, and it is a mission we have here to make that happen. All right, other than that, guys, you can trade with me. Link is going to be down below. I will be live every day, and if you are someone who struggles at staying patient, waiting for the market to set up for you, you know, we do a pretty darn decent job, and we have been killing it. And yeah, I will help. All right, link will be down below. Other than that, everybody have a lovely rest of your night, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.